We are live. This is the NBA Rundown. I'm your host, Astaire. The channel's Nuke the House. I'm joined, as always, by Tyler Hicks. And Tyler, we were supposed to have a guest today, but after I tweeted that out, I checked my Twitter, and Josh, a.k.a. Punt School, from Down Under, sent me a message and asked if we could reschedule to tomorrow. So that's the plan. He'll be with us at 4 p.m. tomorrow. For those tuning in to see him, my apologies. He will be with us tomorrow, but to everybody else, thank you for joining us. Tyler, let's talk a bit about last night. And, as I like to do, I want to kind of embrace my inner hater. The most important thing to me is not that the Sacramento Kings win, it's that the Los Angeles Lakers lose. And being an inner hater, man, there's a couple matchups that I really worry about as a Lakers hater. And that Thunder matchup is one of them, Tyler. Sometimes we talk about doubling down on our same position. For example, what was it? About a week ago, we had the Pacers Spurs under, right? And we hit it at 237. And when it was like 255, I bet the same thing. 2 nights ago, we took the Thunder versus Suns, and I told you I was so excited. They fell behind 12-2, and I got them at even money. Usually they don't adjust it that much early in the game. But I couldn't buy back in last night on our Thunder position, even when they cut it to like 2 points in the third quarter. It just looked like a really big matchup, man. And I'm looking at the Timberwolves, and I'm looking at the Thunder. Those are two teams that I would not want to face. I mean, I would not want to face the Lakers if I'm those two teams. What did you take away from last night? Because I said, boy, how much of a disaster would it be for the Thunder to land at 1 or 2 coming off this excellent season and have to play that Los Angeles Lakers team, which they seem to just match up so badly against in the first round. I mean, how disappointing would that be? I really like OKC against Dallas. I like them against Phoenix. Of course, I like them against Sacramento. I probably even like them against Golden State, but that Los Angeles matchup looks really bad. Am I overreacting?
I mean, not really. It's a weird matchup for him. LeBron, AD's just a giant mismatch.
Well, AD looks like Wilt in that game.
Yeah, so it's like it's tough, but I mean, I think they could beat them, but I think it'd be really tough for OKC to get out of that. But that's the thing with a young team like them. Is like we seen that with Golden State before their dynasty started. They took a Clippers team that everyone thought was championship caliber to 7 games, and everyone went, "Oh, that young team might be live."
Yeah.
Well, what was that? The 3-6 matchup? It wasn't Golden State the 3, and the Clippers were the 6.
I think it was the other way around.
Okay. Well,
you're talking about 2014, right? We're going back 10 years now.
Maybe this time the standings just flip, and the young team's the better seed, and the old team's just on cruise control through the regular season, and they beat them in the playoff series. So I could see it happening. It'd be a growing pain for OKC, but I wouldn't chalk up the season as a loss if they lose to the Lakers in the first round.
I think it would be disappointing because I think if you're Oklahoma City, you got to be looking at the Western Conference Finals. If you lose to Denver, that's fine, right? But I mean, you take Sacramento, Phoenix, Dallas.
If you lose to the Lakers, you're losing to the other team that was in the conference finals last year. So it's like apples to oranges.
Kind of, but I think Denver's head and shoulders above Los Angeles.
I mean, I agree, but it's still the fact that if you look back on it, it's like, well, we lost to what was considered the second best team in the West last year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I'm just overreacting. And who knows? I mean, they could figure it out.
Arguably, if we want to rank those last 4 teams all together, they were probably 2. It probably went Denver, the Lakers, then Boston, and then Miami when it came down to it. Because if the Lakers would have played Boston, I think they could have beat them in a series in the finals. And they definitely beat the Heat.
Okay. All right. I'm probably taking too much away from that. Tyler, we started with the negative. Let's move to the positive. How about that Bucks win, bro?
Yeah, that made no sense.
Oh no, it did. It did.
I mean, it did. But when you looked at the box scores, it was like, oh, we lost this money, and then you blinked, and it was like, somehow we're gonna make a money here.
No, and I almost doubled back down. I felt that the Bucks were just getting wide open shots and they weren't falling. When the when they were making the pushback to close the lead at the end of the second quarter, Dame was missing just layups left and right, just short shots falling. They were getting wide open shots. I was not surprised at all, and I knew we had the fatigue on our side, right? So I said, boy, if they can just keep this close, these shots start to fall, we're live. So I'll be honest, I know we were lucky, of course, to win that game. But that one I could see. For example, I didn't see how OKC could come back, right? I'm just like, we're dead. Like, we're dead. Bad pick. Shame on us, blah, 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 right? Milwaukee, I'm like, we are live.
I mean, let's be honest, too. Like, Lakers games, I might just be throwing those out of the window because it's very hard to cap that team. You never know which version of them is going to show up. Last night, they looked like the best team in the league. Next game, they might look like the play-in team. The game after that, they might even look like a lottery team. And then they snap back to looking like a championship team. So they're hard
so many teams now. There's a guy I follow, Jackson Lloyd, and he did a fun little exercise. And Tyler, and I even wrote him back and told him I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna do this next year. 1 month into the season, so I don't know when it's gonna start, October or something. So every month we're gonna just predict, and it's just for fun. We don't have to put any money on it, but let's just predict how we think the playoffs will turn out, right? Because I think if we would have done this like just 1 month ago, right? I don't know about you, but I would have had New York, like going off January, I would have had New York and Dallas as conference finalists, right?
Yeah.
Dallas doesn't look too good right now.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas might miss the playoffs if it comes down to
it.
Cleveland.
They won 17 of 18 at one point. Didn't we think, hey, this team could be pretty good, right?
Yeah.
They don't look like it right now.
Yeah. And then here comes the Bucks from nowhere.
And even, I know, I missed your overreaction here too, but this is kind of the fun part of the show, right? I mean, I don't want to be level-headed all the time. You take out that loss from the Warriors to the Celtics, let's just erase it from our mind, like, what was that movie? Men in Black style or whatever. Warriors were like 13-3 in February, weren't they?
Yeah, they looked really good.
It's not like they're dead either, so... All right. Any other takeaways from last night? I know we were messaging, and it felt like we were right on a bunch of those dogs that we liked, right? Like we said Memphis or pass. Although we did say Wizards or pass, and that one ended up not being a good pass.
We got the Denny props out of there. He got the double-double at plus 425. So that
and fantastic work. And that game did go over, I believe. Right? And we finally had some high-scoring games again.
They were throwing double alley-oops in the game. Like, Sexton threw it to Keontae George. Keontae George threw it off the backboard. Sexton dunked it. And then at the end of the game, they threw Sexton the ball, and he bounced it off the ground, did a between-the-legs dunk. So it was just basically a street ball game in that one. Yeah. It was fun to watch.
And you know what sucks? I had Sexton in that best ball.
I think the Wizards would have won the game if Keontae George didn't go out of the game. Because Jordan Clarkson wouldn't have played all those minutes and had 38, 10, and 7.
That's weird how they're kind of moving away from him. I hope he moves.
I think they're just trying to go young and see what the young guys got.
No, I agree, but now he's just a bad fit on the team. I mean, don't you think he would be huge on...
You think they might buy him out? I could see that happening.
I don't think they will. I think... How much does he have left on his deal?
I don't know, but...
Because he's worth at least a second rounder. He would help Miami. He would help... I don't think Cleveland, maybe. No, he was already on Cleveland. No, same thing, though. Yeah, there's a couple teams he could help. All right. I was going to tell you this off the air, Tyler. You know, and keep it a secret, but... Dude, I hate this slate. 2 days in a row. Yesterday, I didn't like it. We found two plays. Went 1-1. Okay, whoop-de-doo. I am so pissed off about this slate. Because there was 2 spots that when I went to bed last night, I said, I'm expecting to play these. I love these spots. And now I don't think we can get there. But we'll talk about them, and I'll let you know as those come up. Any other... What? Clyde. Weird. I don't even know what he's talking about. What is he talking about? You can...
Don't know.
You're young. Decipher it. This is your generation, Tyler, in the chat.
There is no deciphering that.
All right. Any other NBA thoughts or any other takeaways from last night?
Nope. Let's just get
All
to the games before we get
right.
lost in Clyde's messages.
I'm gonna come on one day during the summer, and I'm just gonna answer every single one of Clyde's responses, like when we don't even have a slate, and we'll just go through the madness that is the chat against
There
Clyde.
is no we on that show. That's you.
Yeah, that'll be me. That'll be me. All right. Orlando Magic -8.5. They're in Charlotte taking on the Hornets. Total is 207.5. Because this total is so low, my projections like the over. Everything's been going under. I could be talked into either one there. My projections liked taking the Hornets. Let's talk this through, though, Tyler. Here's my concern. We had a great little run from the Hornets when they exceeded expectations, and I think they got a nice little bump adding Grant Williams. But are they coming back to earth right now? And the fact that I used last five in my projections, is that maybe getting us away from a very solid Orlando Magic team against a very poor Orlando team? I could like I said, I don't love the slate. There's two spots that I had targeted. They both now have question marks. This was not one of them, however. Charlotte +8.5 at home. Break this game down, and I'm going to pull up some more stats between these two teams.
Yeah, I lean Orlando here. I don't know if I want to lay 8.5. I just think they win the game rather easily. It just depends on what they want to win it by. Like, they match up very well. Like the Brandon Millers and the Miles Bridges here, like they're not going into easy matchups where they're going to get easy buckets. Like Banchero and these guys can play defense. Last time they played, they beat them by 13 in Charlotte. So, or no,
And how long ago was that?
that game was in Orlando. The last time they played in Charlotte, they beat them by 11. And
And
these
when was that?
they've only played one time this year, and that was in November. Orlando, the game in Charlotte was last year at the end of the year. But
Oh,
this Orlando team, when you look at just post All-Star break, what are they? 5-1. They have the fourth highest point differential at +9.9. Charlotte in that same thing is 2-5 with a -8.9 point differential, and that ranks 28th. The only thing Charlotte's really doing good right now is when you pull up the four factor stats, they have the 13 ranked points per possession on defense. And
Go
they
over
have,
those four factor stats for everybody.
what do you mean by go over them?
What are they?
Oh, points per
Whether
possession. Well, I'm using cleaning the glass, so they filter out certain stats, like for instance, a shot at the end of the shot clock that's just meaningless. You just huck up a three from 40 feet that messes up the shot percentage. They go through and filter all those out. So these numbers are pretty much as close as you can get to like actual the game without the blowout minutes. Points per 100 possessions,
okay.
effective field goal percentage, turnover percentage, offensive rebounds percentage, and free throw rate. And they do offensive and defensive.
I like those. I mean, offensive rebounding, I think it's okay, but the other three are so key to, especially free throw, so key to covering spreads.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't matter if you're taking the favorite or the dog. You
Yeah.
got to make your free throws to cover. Okay.
But then just to go back to those stats and looking at Orlando, they rank 9th in points per possession. They're putting up 116 points. They're 4th in effective field goal percentage. They're shooting almost 60% from the field. The only thing they're not ranked top 15 in is turnover percentage. They have the second worst turnover percentage. They're turning over the ball 17.5%. But you go to their defensive stats. They're only giving up 106 points per possession, and they're holding teams to almost 51% from the field. Those rank 3rd and 10th. And they also are turning teams over the 4th highest percentage. Charlotte in those stats rank, their offense is 29th. They're putting up 103 points. They're 24th in percentage, and they are turning over the ball 14% of the time. I think Orlando just kind of runs away with this game at some point, but I think 8 could be a backdoor. So maybe a parlay piece, but outside of that, I think they win the game pretty easy.
I think there's multiple ways to approach this game. Number one, even though my projections like the over, I think it's under or pass. In the last 5 games, Orlando's holding opponents to 99. And you just told me Charlotte's averaging 103 per game, right?
Yeah, points per
Average those out.
Yep.
Charlotte gets to, well, I guess 101. Be right on the number there because it's down to 207.5. But they Magic games have gone under in their last 5. Charlotte's gone under 8 of their last 9. Also, just some more reasons why, even though that 8.5 looks good, overall Charlotte's only covered 41% of their games. Orlando's been one of the best teams against the spread this year. 40-21 against the spread. Also, Magic 20-13
I mean,
on the road against the
Magic team
spread.
total over 108.5. Pretty low. Charlotte's given up 111, 121, 111, 123. Then they had the two shitter games. They gave up 80 to Portland and they gave up 97 to Golden State. And then before that, they gave up 107, 99, 102, 106, and that was in their little winning streak. So since they've come out of the All-Star break, they've given up a ton of points. Orlando's put up 113, 115, 108, 92, 112, 116, 118, 113, 114, and 127.
Yeah. In their last four, Charlotte's given up 123, 111, 114, and 106. I know you kind of said that, but I just wanted to reinforce it.
They've
I mean,
covered that
111 is
108
the last one.
in
So they've
four.
gone over 100. Their opponents have gone over 110 in their last four.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way to approach this game.
Okay. Let's double back to that, though. It's still pretty low. Still pretty low. All right. Tyler, I like to look at other people's projections. I almost vomited when I saw that odd shark had Cleveland winning this game straight up.
I don't think they factor in injuries at
Bro, what are they doing? And they're not factoring in recent play. I'm like, do you guys not use last five? Do you not use last five? Like, what the? They won 17 of 18 a month ago. What do you do? This team's not playing well right now. And this Boston team, I would argue, is the best basketball we've seen in this little stretch of any team this whole NBA season. Dallas had a nice little run. Indiana had a nice little run. Denver, of course, had a couple really good runs. But nothing like what we've seen from this Boston team. To me, it's Celtics or pass. I think they did a pretty good job of making the line. Of course, I'm bitching about their projections. My projections tell you to take the Cavs as well. But you know what?
I don't think they set this line high enough. I think 8's a gift. Look at their recent scores.
This is enough. So these first two games, I'm almost thinking of the first half.
But just look at what Boston's done to teams. All right, the Golden State and Dallas two, we could throw. We'll cross off those two right now. They beat Philly.
There's no reason not to. Those are good quality teams.
They're good quality teams, but the point margin was just ridiculous. So it's like, all right, well, we won't talk about the 50-point and the 30-point win. But then they beat Philly 117-99. They beat the Knicks 116-102. They beat Chicago 129-112. They beat Brooklyn by 50. They beat Brooklyn by 8, Miami by 4, Washington by 5, and Atlanta by 8. But since the All-Star break, they come out, 14-point win against the Knicks, the Philly game, the Dallas game, the Golden State game. I don't even care if Porzingis and Jaylen Brown both are in street clothes on the bench tonight, because who the hell's scoring the ball for the Cavs tonight? There's no Donovan Mitchell. Max Strus is out, so they aren't going to be able to space the floor. Karis LeVert is also out, so there's no one off the bench. Isaac Okoro could miss, which means Tatum can go crazy. There's no one that's going to be able to defend him. Mobley and those guys couldn't stop Miles McBride 2 days ago spread. Do we really think they're stopping the best team in the league? Boston names whatever score they want. I'd lay 8. There's that win margin bet where you could bet 11 plus at like plus 140. I'd bet that too. They blow this team out. Drew Holiday and Derek White guard Darius Garland. They have no offense.
Bro, Milwaukee fucked themselves so hard when they traded Drew Holiday.
I'm still not like penciling Boston in for the finals, but
it's so hard not to. You know who the only one I really, really like is Philly with Embiid.
Yeah, because that's the
what are you gonna do?
They're gonna have a coaching advantage in every series this time around,
and
unless they play Miami.
And they get the best player on the floor. And I know Giannis is the best player on the floor, but when we play that other game right, then Boston has everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I hate to say it because I love Dame.
Didn't we already see Drew lock up Dame in a playoff series when he was on the Pelicans and Dame was on the Blazers? Didn't that happen once before?
Oh, you're going back so far, but yeah.
I'm almost positive that happened.
No. Actually, the Blazers won that series.
Okay.
I don't know how Dame did. I'm thinking that's the year.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm almost positive there's a series where he put some guard in a straight jacket in the first round and they
It's
got out of there.
almost every single series. He's the best. He's the best on-ball point guard defender, I'd say, in the NBA. I don't know. I mean, it gets tough. You know, it's so crazy. Like Marcus Smart, remember him? Wasn't he like Defensive Player of the Year last year or something?
Yep.
And we don't even hear his name. It's so crazy. All right. While you look that up, we're gonna find a way to get involved with these Celtics. All right. What's a Celtics Magic parlay?
They swept the Blazers.
Okay, excuse me, I'm wrong. And was that the first year?
That was 2018.
Okay.
So this was LeBron's final year in Cleveland, and when Golden State swept them in the finals.
A Celtics Magic moneyline parlay is minus 140. Just to throw that out there. Okay. Anything else?
I mean,
for Celtics scouts?
not for those two games. I think it's just easy on both the favorites. I think they both win the game rather handily. I don't see either losing.
All right, cool. Now I get to take a dog. I didn't bet it yet, but that's the way I'm leaning here. Toronto Raptors plus 9.5. Taking on the Pelicans. Okay, tell me why.
When's the last time Pelicans played basketball? A Pacers game, right? Yeah. So they've been off since March 1st. They got 4 days off. Do we need to talk about the times we backed this team on 3+ days rest? They can't make the spread high enough. But don't even worry about laying 9. They're going to win by 40. They match up well here. It's favorite or pass for me. I think they walk this team off the floor tonight.
Oh, man.
Look at the last time they played was a 138 to 100.
When was that?
February 5th. They were minus 10.5 in that game. I'm almost positive I said these same exact words. They can't make that line high enough.
Maybe you're right.
New Orleans is pretty much fully healthy. There's going to be no Podol, no Scotty Barnes, no Bruce Brown. Quickly's going to be trying to do everything by himself, and he's going to be getting locked up by Herb Jones and these guys. Joe Val's going to dominate the paint. They're going to get any bucket they want. I couldn't take the Raptors here. It'd be Pelicans or pass.
All right. We'll move on then. You made a compelling argument, and I can't really come back. I'm even looking through stats to try and like bounce back.
This is the matchup where it's like, oh, let's take the dog, and it's like we message each other at halftime. It's like we needed more than 9. We're down by 25 already. All 3 of those favorites. What's that pay?
Now we're gonna get to plus money. 100 gets you plus 109.
Yeah, that I can get behind that for the first 3 games on the heavy favorites.
All right, let's just have some fun. If we lose this, who's the team that blows it up?
Probably Orlando.
Okay.
It's Orlando because like Charlotte just shoots well. They can't hit shots. The defense doesn't matter at that point, and they lose.
Yeah, all right. I just placed that. 500 to win 546. All right, let's keep it moving, Tyler. This is a tough one, man. The Atlanta Hawks are plus 3 in New York taking on the Knicks. I want to fade the Knicks, but I've said this before. We do this in tennis, where you want to fade someone, and like this just isn't the player to do it with. I'm kind of feeling the same way about this Hawks game because I want to fade the Knicks, right? Jalen Brunson's still out, right?
He's not coming back. Yeah, I don't believe so. He's got a Q tag on him that says left knee contusion. I do not think I'm like 85% sure they sit him tonight.
If he's out, who starts in his place?
McBride.
Can you believe Clyde doesn't believe that's my stake?
That's wild.
Bro, how do you think I make it when I'm only up like 9-10 units on a season? I can't do it $100 a game. You should see when I go to Vegas. All right, or Reno. Okay, I guess this really comes down to we want to fade the Knicks. We know we want to fade the Knicks. He says my girlfriend. No, she won't give me money, bro. I'm not that hot. You kind of like the new haircut though, huh? Yeah. I'm not that awesome, Clyde. Hawks are 19-41 against the spread. Maybe they have some recent wins that we could point to. No, they failed to cover against Brooklyn. They failed to cover against...
those two Brooklyn games. Remember, those are the only two games Brooklyn's cared about all year for some stupid reason.
Why?
I don't know. Because they looked at the standings and they were like, if we win these two, we could still fight for the play-in, I guess.
Sucks. Do you want to play this game? I don't want to play it.
It's Atlanta.
It's Hawks or pass, and it's like...
I think they win. I'd rather... Like, if I'm betting it, just give me the plus money on the money line.
Bro, call me Andy Reid, because I just want to pass.
Like, I'm down to pass, but, like, Josh Hart triple-double at 9-1. Double-double minus 150.
Yeah, you can find some...
I can get behind those. Like, DeJounte Murray.
Speaking of props, someone reached out to me. Are you posting those somewhere? Because I know that we're not putting them on our fan speak sheet.
I'll put one or two props on Keg's sheet every once in a while.
Okay, because
like I had the Denny props up there yesterday for guys, so they were able to hit that plus 400.
Okay, did you put it in Kegs?
Yeah,
because I had a guy reach out to me.
That's on Keg's Patreon though. So
okay, I'll let him know that your props are on Keg's Patreon then.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. All right. Are we just done with this game? You can find props later.
Yeah, I mean,
do you have props now?
Yeah, like the Josh Hart double-double I can get behind. DeJounte Murray and Josh Hart like taking shots on their triple-doubles at 9 and 14-1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, outside of that, maybe Jalen Johnson's points plus rebounds. He's done very well. And the big men for the Knicks are just going to be far and few between tonight. Like, what is that number on him tonight? 24.5 on his points plus rebounds. I can definitely get behind that for Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
Outside of that, though, I mean, Hawks win the game. I really don't want to click that button, though. There's another game where I really want to click the button, and I don't know if I'm going to bring myself to do it.
Is it the Detroit Pistons and the Miami Heat?
No.
Okay, well, that's the next game we're going to talk about, Tyler. The Detroit Pistons are plus 12. The total's 217. It's weird how we remember certain things, Tyler. But I remember this clearly. Well, maybe not. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Not you, Clyde. The Detroit Pistons opened the season catching about 8 or 9 in Miami against the Heat. They jumped out to a lead. They played the whole game tough. Miami ends up getting the win, but the Pistons get a fairly easy cover as they were winning the game outright for a majority of the game. And remember I told you, I think Pistons are going to be good this year. Cade's going to take the lead.
And then they didn't win another game until February.
Yeah. But I still do like this matchup, and we always say if Miami's laying more than 5, we don't bet them. So I was looking towards taking the points with the Pistons. They're out to 12. I'm looking at the injury report. What do we got here?
Hero, Love, both out. And on the Detroit side, it just looks like Grimes is going to miss.
Pretty clean, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't hate this lineup.
I mean, let's just look at it, too. The Heat have been... They were 8-point favorites against Utah. They won that game by 6.
Right.
They were 7-point favorites against Portland. They beat them by 10. They were 8-point favorites against San Antonio. They beat them by, 12. And 7.5-point favorites against Washington. They beat them by 8.
Okay, so they've actually been covering by these spreads that are more than 5.
Yeah.
And
just to keep going back, minus 11.5 against Memphis. They won by, actually, they lost this game outright to Memphis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then 8.5-point favorites against Charlotte, 104-87. I do not see another one above 8 up until November 3rd when they beat Washington by 7.5, so they did not cover there.
What do you think?
They only been double-digit favorites once this year. Yeah, they've only been double-digit favorites once this year, and they lost the game outright. Give me the points.
Yeah, I mean, they lost by 12 to Orlando. They lost by 10 to Cleveland. They beat Chicago straight up as 10-point dogs. They lost by 2 to the Knicks. Yeah, they covered 3 of their last 5.
There might be. Hold on. I just got to double check this because this might be that stupid stat. We can move on to the next game while I double check this because this is going to take a minute. But
I'm curious, though. What's the stupid stat?
I'm almost positive Detroit hasn't lost many games on Tuesdays.
Oh, here, I'll check OddsShark. That OddsShark puts up those stupid ones.
Dude, they beat Chicago on February 27th. That was a Tuesday.
Coming up on a Tuesday.
Where is their other
OddsShark didn't give me the certain days though. They'll put stuff like that up though.
27th. All right, so that was the only Tuesday they played in there.
Miami's 4-1 in their last 5 on a Tuesday, but that's straight up. On a Tuesday, I can't believe we're looking this up.
No, right. They beat January on Monday. Or they beat Washington in January on a Monday.
Miami is 9-1 against the spread in their last 10. I didn't notice that as we're looking this up. Detroit is 13-7 in their last 20. The total's gone under in Detroit's last 9 games. Total's gone under in 11 of Miami's last 14. On a total of 217.
No, that's not an actual stat. So they've only played on like 3 Tuesdays, I think. So they're like 1 and 2.
I do see that like on OddsShark though when I'm looking at the trends, and I always like throw those out. The ones I don't care about, and I don't care about like conference opponents.
Yeah.
Like when they're 13-4 against Western Conference, I'm like, that doesn't help me at all.
Yeah.
Because what if half the games they played against were like Portland, San Antonio, Houston, right? I mean, okay. All right, we are definitely considering that. We're gonna go back to that. All right, Tyler, I drank too much coffee. How about this one? You take it away from me, set up the Sixers versus the Nets, and I will be right back.
Oh, yeah, the other game I didn't want to click the button on. I mean, what is this? Let's pull up the injury report. Because Philly looked like they were just going to be able to handle this game. Brooklyn, after the game yesterday, they looked terrible. They couldn't even beat Memphis as 10-point favorites. And they had the situation at the end of the game where they didn't even want to huddle up with their coach. They all stormed off after the end of the huddle. An injury report, Day'Ron Sharpe's going to be out. Ben Simmons is out. Cam Thomas is out. Looks like Lonnie Walker's also going to miss with this Q tag. But on the other side, Maxi's out. Melton's still out. Covington's still out. KJ Martin questionable. Cam Payne questionable. So just a ton of injuries on this game. But I still think Philly wins this game pretty easy. They won't have the best player on the floor now that Maxi's out. Mikal Bridges will be that, but he hasn't been doing much of anything. So I just think they have the better coach, the better system, and they're going to be able to win this game. Brooklyn on back-to-backs haven't been good this year. They can't really score, and Nick Nurse knows how to coach a defensive game. So give me Philly here. They win this game.
You still like them even with Maxi out? Because
yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, Maxi's out, but Mikal Bridges is now the best player on the floor, but he really hasn't done much. Like, Nick Nurse.
Is there anyone whose stock has dropped more this year than Mikal Bridges?
No, I mean, they should have traded him for like the 12 first-round picks somebody offered.
Well, that's the thing. Like, as a number 3, he's probably like the most ideal number 3 you could have.
Yeah, like
as a number 1, he's probably the 28th best number 1 in the league. I'm trying to think, like, assuming everybody's healthy, who do the Nets play where he's the best player on the floor?
No. Nobody.
That's what I'm thinking, right? I mean, Portland maybe?
I'd probably take Simons over him.
I like Bridges a little more. I think that's the only one, though. I like...
I would trade Bridges' defense for Anthony Simons' offense in any situation.
Yeah, see, I'm a defense type of guy, Tyler. But regardless, the point stands. He's, as a number 1, he's the 28th or 29th best number 1. I mean, I even like Cade more than him. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Victor, I'm going through the worst teams in the league. Victor,
I'm taking
Şengün more than him.
I'm taking both the guys in Charlotte over him. Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges.
Miles
I think
Bridges
they're
isn't better than Mikhail.
I think they're better versions of him.
I think Mikhail's better than Miles.
He just plays a little bit better defense, but his
Here's
offense
an
is so
interesting
bad.
one. If you're trying to win a championship, right? Because I know for fantasy, who'd you rather have, LaMelo Ball or Mikhail Bridges? I think I'd rather have Bridges, even though Ball's a better player.
Can I just bring Ball off the bench as like a 6-man point guard that just runs the second unit?
He's better than that. He can be your starter.
I mean, you didn't tell me how I had to use them.
Good point. All right.
I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be back.
Okay. So Tyler broke down the Sixers. We're having some fun. Each taking turns rolling the solo. Right. I used to love it back in the day when rappers had solo albums. Which Murray? Which Murray there? DeJounte or Jamal? I think you got to take both of them though. I used to love like when Wu-Tang solo albums would come out. So here's a little chance for my solo album right here. And we are talking about the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. This line's been all over the place. In fact, it was highest in Philadelphia, -3.5 when they thought Tyrese Maxey was going to play. Books think he's worth 4.5 points. Normally, I'm such a big proponent of superstar subtraction, but with Maxey out, I'm a little worried here. Here's our starting lineup, though. Really not that bad, right? Kyle Lowry. We talked about how he fell off. But in this situation, I think he'll be a serviceable player. Buddy Hield, we know what he is, but he can fill it up. Kelly Oubre, solid two-way player. Tobias Harris, overpaid, but solid two-way player. Most of what I'm worried about, Tyler. Why is Mo Bamba starting for this team?
Who else is gonna play center?
B-Ball Paul.
I mean, you gotta have somebody off the bench.
I would have done the other way, but whatever.
You got the coaching advantage with Nick Nurse. Kyle Lowry's ran his system before. He's going to get a bunch of assists tonight.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, give me Philly.
All right, we're on Philly. I was just kind of killing time before that.
Like we've talked about it too. Like I hate betting Philly games because every time I either bet with them or against them, they seem to screw me. But Brooklyn sucks, and they can't score.
So you talked about that, right? While I was gone, about that little thing you sent me with them just not buying in on this new coach.
And
Who's
I know
the new coach again.
It's Kevin Ollie.
Kevin Ollie.
He used to coach at UConn, but then he bounced around in the NBA a little bit. And I know this trend doesn't stick to this line because now they're +1. Mm-hmm. But as away favorites, they were straight up 12-3 this year, and they were winning those games by 8 points.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny how all these trends, the line moves 2 points and all these trends flip. Because now we have Philly's 9-12 as an underdog, but they're really good as a favorite, right? Yeah, Brooklyn's really good as a home favorite, but if we would have done this show 2 hours ago, we would have all the trends would have come up as them as that dog.
And if you want to play the game of you want to bet line movements and bet the steam, well, when this injury news came out, it went to almost Brooklyn -3 in some places, and then it bought back to a pick'em. What did we watch the Clippers line do yesterday when Giannis got announced out? It went all the way to the Clippers so far, and then it bought back towards the Bucks a little bit, and everyone on the Bucks cashed. You could see the same thing happen right here, where everyone on Philly still cashes those -3s in the end of the day.
All right, we are going to bet Philly. Tyler, my final stat in support of that is Brooklyn, 2-6-1 on a back-to-back.
That was the other one I was looking for. Was their and they're losing those games by an average of 15 points.
Yeah, this team doesn't care.
I wonder what that average is though. If you take out that 50-point loss to Boston, because that was a back-to-back situation.
How many is it total? I mean, I can kind of figure it out in my head real quick.
They're 2-6-1, so 9 games.
9 take out of 58. So let's see if it was 9. You're saying that 9.
That's way too much weed to be doing this in my
90,
head.
45, 135, take out of 50, so it's 8 divided by 85. It goes down to about 11.5.
Okay. So we still cover that number at -3.
So yeah, you take that out, it moves it about 4 points.
I think Buddy Hield also just lights this team up. Like, what's his threes? Like Kyle Lowry's assist is 5.5.
I like Lowry's assist prop, and I like the Hield points prop.
His assist is over 5.5 -144. I can totally get behind 8+ at +240 and 10+ at 7-1.
Okay, a little ladder action. All right, this is the first one that seems like we absolutely love. This is weird on Bookmaker. So normally I would just take the money line. I can get plus 1.5 at minus 108 or just minus 103. So wait, 5 cents I get a point and a half. Fuck that. I mean, I'm gonna take the points here.
Yeah, take the point.
Ooh, bet online, new layout.
Take the point because then remember we've done this before with the Warriors Kings matchups where it was like, oh, do we just take the money line? It's like, yeah, take that point. It might matter in the end, and then they win the game.
We gotta bet. I'm gonna bet this right now on Bookmaker. Tyler, on Bet Online, usually these numbers are pretty close. It's like a couple cents off.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia is -1.
Yeah, so these numbers are probably different all around. Like, let me go check DraftKings, see what they got.
I mean, I know it's moving through 0, so it's not the same, but still.
Yeah, see, it's the same thing for me. DraftKings is hanging Philly -1, minus 108, and FanDuel's hanging Philly +1, minus 112.
And it's because they're going through 0, so it's okay. All right. Philadelphia 76ers, first bet I placed. 540 to win 500, Clyde. Get on my level. San Antonio Spurs are +8 in Houston, taking on the Rockets. Totals 227. Tyler, Victor Wembanyama crushed all my best ball dreams on DK. I'm still alive on underdog, but teams aren't that good. Like, I got De'Aaron Fox led team. I don't think I'm going to get there. So I'm dying here in the quarterfinals. Clyde, I'm going to send you some fucking screenshots, bro. Why the fuck would you not believe me? What the fuck? Why would you not believe me, bro? How do you think I make it? You know I live in California, right? Unfreaking believable. Bro, I heard that Western Pennsylvania is a good place to move to.
Don't do that.
He thinks I make it through OnlyFans. All right. What do we do with this game, Tyler? When you put these last 5 in here, the Spurs really aren't that bad. But isn't Wembanyama on our injury report?
Yeah, he's not playing tonight. He had shoulder.
Dude, can you believe that? He freaking nukes me out of every single best ball. And then now he sits?
Yeah, he's going to sit right here. I honestly think he's going to sit right here. I think it's 1, he's dealing with a little bit of a shoulder soreness, like they're saying. 2, it's Houston. He can care less for Houston. Remember when Houston got the 4th pick in the draft and he celebrated because he didn't have to end up in this city? Like, I could definitely see him. Victor, they showed him on screen when Houston got the 4th pick. He was going like this, like, and he like gave somebody like a high five. Like, he did not.
Why would you not want to go to Houston?
He did not want to be there. I don't think he likes the upper management there and all.
That must be it, because I'm just saying, if you offer me right now and I have millions of dollars, so I'm not worried about cost of living, I'd much rather live in Houston than San Antonio.
I feel like his was more of a basketball situation. Like, he's seen everything that was going on with Houston the year before that, where they were just a shit show. Probably didn't want to join into that, even though they brought Udoka and they kind of fixed a little bit of stuff. But then he looked at the Spurs, like they built that whole new facility for like rehab. So he knew he was going to have that behind them. They are known to be very good teams with their superstars, especially big men. I know Kawhi had his little spat, but Duncan was fine. Robinson was fine. He probably just wanted to be in that situation. You know what I mean?
Okay. So after that little detour here, what do we do with this game? You like Houston?
Yeah, it's Houston or pass, but I don't want to bet it until I know Victor's out. If all of a sudden, if I take a -7.5 and all of a sudden he's rolled in, I feel like I'm dead because I feel like they can win the game outright.
How much do we lose?
I think it dropped like -4.
What are you talking about? It's going to go the other way.
Or +4. If he's out?
Yeah.
You're confusing me now. What?
Okay, right now it's Rockets -8. My concern is we wait for the Victor news and we have to lay 10.
Yeah, it's gonna be Rockets -4 if Victor's rolled in. That's what I meant. You had me all confused.
So you think that this line doesn't move at all if he's ruled out? You think this line basically says?
I think it already said they're rolling him out.
Jason, don't piss off Tyler right now. We're on a roll.
I'll do that. I've already got a tweet queued up for if the Steelers were to draft Bo Nix and add him to our quarterback room.
Oh, my buddy wants to debate you on Bo Nix.
I'd rather there's a lot of weapons like on this desk. Like, I'd rather take one of them and hit me with it.
No, Jason, it's all good. I'm just having fun because I know he's not happy about that. I wouldn't be either, to be fair. And you know what? As much as I love Tomlin, Joey worked in the house.
All right, Joey.
as much as I love Tomlin, if he's the one telling management I can get it done with Kenny Pickett, then this is on him.
I'm telling you right now what's going to happen with the Steelers next year, spread. We'll take a slight detour.
All right, slight
They're
detour.
gonna finally
Just
fall.
look what you did, Jason.
They're going to finally fall apart next year. They're not going to look good. And remember at the end of this year where Tomlin was like, I might take a year off from football and like spend some time with my family.
Uh-huh.
Finally has his losing season, instantly pulls that card, goes away from the Steelers for a year, and then we end up trading him somewhere else the following offseason.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Tomlin, you guys are like one TJ Watt injury away from being like Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Terrible. We're going to go in with the second worst quarterback room next year. And I'm only saying second.
Who's the first?
Because I don't know how the hell you get worse than Will Levis, Malik Willis, and whoever else is going to be in there.
I hate to say it. I think I'd rather have Will Levis and Kenny Pickett.
I mean, yeah, but like...
I think you're the worst.
But like, the thing about it is like, the fall off from... Like, I'm taking Mason Rudolph 100 times out of 100.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Over Malik Willis.
Fair. Okay.
Malik Willis shouldn't even be playing football.
All right, so guys, we'll tweet it out. We're gonna wait for this news, but it's 90% chance we're on the Rockets, right?
Yeah, as long as Victor's out. Shane Goon will smash at that point. They won't have a big man. I just got to make sure the 7'4" alien isn't showing up to give us 35 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks, and we're sitting there. And when they win the game by 8, the Spurs do, and we're on a -8 on the other side.
Bro, is he a top 15 player in the league right now?
He's like a top 5 player in the league already, Spread.
I don't know about top 5. He's
yes.
not top 5. No. I'll give you 5 better right now.
All right.
Jokic?
Who's stopping him? This is my question. There's 2 guys in the league that can look him square in the face and go, I'm going to, outscore you and beat you in the post and maybe control you because...
Who, Jokic and Giannis?
Yeah, it's Jokic and Embiid.
And Giannis?
Yeah, I don't think so because
Giannis is so much stronger than him.
Yeah, but the thing is Giannis plays basketball like a caveman, and he's going to try and run and dunk on him every time, and he's going to get blocked.
No. Luka, Giannis, Jokic, SGA, Tatum, all better than
the Tatum gets thrown into these conversations with all the names you just said, and I don't think he deserves to be there. He's in the next tier down.
I mean, at this point, Halliburton might be better. I'm talking about right now, game right now.
No. Do we need to pull up his game logs and talk about what this man has done?
No, we'll just move on. But put your guys in the chat. I say Victor's about top 15. What are you talking about, Clyde? What's your top 5, Clyde? You probably got Vernon Maxwell in there.
I'm pulling up his stats from his recent games just because I want to read these off.
No, I already know. In the last 2 weeks for the best ball, he was the highest scoring player. It went Victor number 1, Giannis number 2, Jokic number 3. I'm going off the top of my head. I could be wrong.
I mean, last game, 31-12, 6 assists, 1 steal, 6 blocks. He shot 65% from the field and 75% from 3. The game before that, 28-13, 7, 2, and 5.
Where does he go in best ball next year?
1.
But you draft him ahead of Jokic.
It's gonna be very close. Because the thing about it, Fred, is like he's got.
I think Jokic is still number 1.
But the thing
you're sitting at number 2.
He's gonna start stuffing the stat sheet more than Jokic, just because at some point, like Jokic's build is gonna start to slow down because he's a bigger guy. I know the passing's still gonna be there, the rebound's still gonna be there, but Victor's gonna be a 30-point per game scorer. He's gonna grab 12 to 15 rebounds a game. He's already getting 4 to 5 blocks a game. Jokic doesn't get those. Yeah. And what happens once his passing gets a little bit better and he starts racking up like 9, 8 assists a game? Chalk it up.
I think he'll go about 3 or 4. I think it'll go.
Give it 3 years. He's gonna be getting like 4 quadruple doubles a year.
Best ball next year, Embiid or Victor? Who would you rather have?
Victor, because I know I at least know Victor's gonna play.
Victor or Luka?
Taking Victor.
You got Victor ahead of SGA, Clyde. Come on, buddy. For this year, one game right now to be played
If
in the next 2 days.
If Victor isn't top 5 spread, he's number 6.
better
The
than
dude's
Anthony Edwards?
unstoppable.
Is he better than Anthony Edwards?
Yes. Joey says we're all on dust.
Where does Joey put him? Jalen Brunson
Jalen
top five.
Brunson top 5.
I was actually going to bring that up though. He's top 5 point guard.
Top 5 point guard for sure. Top 15 player for sure.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it's just so crazy. Who's going to be the steal? Because he killed me in all my drafts. You saw in the message to Meg, right? The guy that got first place in my pod, I got third.
Yeah.
I beat him in 7 of 9 positions. But Victor had like 500 and I had like 290 at whatever he was at, center or utility. Anyways, Pacers. This is the second game, Tyler. We talked about the Sixers earlier. I wanted to take Dallas so bad here, but Luke is on the injury report.
He didn't play.
Do we just bet them, man? I mean, I want to fade Indiana. They're not doing that good right now.
I mean, the line opened at 5, and it's back at 5 with his Q tag popping up midday. So that tells me he's playing. You know what I mean? Like, usually that line would drop if he's not. I guess he's went through
Okay,
shooter.
let's just assume that
He
he's in.
He has all his props listed.
Let's assume that he's in. Do you like Dallas with me?
Yes. Because wasn't last game their first game after a road trip, so they had just returned home. It was an
The last
East
game
Coast.
they played was in Indiana.
Yeah,
They've only
Dallas,
played
right?
once this year. Oh, yeah. Dallas had that dreaded first game home off the road trip. We took the under, and that was on Sunday morning. That was a nice, fun cash. Oh, bro, that got close.
Yeah, that's because
Bro, it was at like 2:26 with a minute to go.
And then
I turned the TV off.
The
Yeah,
final
10
shot
points.
could have decided it. I looked up and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I was like, "No."
Yeah, I turned it off. I'm glad I did. I saved myself some stress.
That was not fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, was it 4 games on an East Coast road trip? Indiana was one of them. That's where they started the road trip at. Lost Indiana, lost to Cleveland, beat Toronto, lost to Boston.
What was that
Come
Indiana
home.
score, and what can we take away from that game?
133 to 111. But that game was close up until the fourth quarter, and then Indiana went on a big run to end the game. Because I remember watching that one.
Are we worried about Carlisle being familiar with Dallas?
Not really, because I'm pretty sure that they've split this series last year too when we did this. Let's see. Because we took Indiana last year in this matchup, and that would have been this February game when they were plus 8.5, one game outright by 2. And then in March, they played in Indiana. Dallas was favored by 8. They won the game by 23. Indiana won this year's first game outright. They got them by 20, and Dallas was favored by 2 in Indiana. Now they're favored by 5 on their home floor. So I like Dallas. I know they've been struggling too, but this is a good spot where the other side's not going to play defense either. Like, that's their biggest struggle is defense. But Indiana's not going to play much defense either. This is going to be an over game, and both teams are going to put up a ton of points.
46.5 though.
I think it goes over. I think it goes over, and Dallas wins the game.
I'm with you on the minus 4.5. The 246, I'm having problems.
I don't want to bet the over just because
Let's
of all
not
the
bet the
under
over.
trends. Yeah, just because
My
of all
final
the under
question for
trends
you before we
recently.
move on to the final game of the night. Do I just bet this right now? I have it queued up. I'm ready.
I mean, unless you're scared that Luka doesn't play, you could wait, or you could just also bet it through Luka, like bet like a double, like a Luka double and win is minus 110. Luka 30 plus and win. And just do it that way to where if he's rolled out, the bet voids anyway. And then
should I be concerned?
if
So if he
in,
plays, should we just assume that he's going to be a badass, or do we think that this injury could be hampering him?
I mean, usually when he plays well. Like,
I'm gonna.
he's not a guy that goes out there and just kind of stands in the corner. Like, he still runs the offense.
I'm gonna lay it right now. You ready?
I'm fine. I'm betting his triple double. Also, he's gotten 3 straight triple doubles. Triple doubled against Toronto, triple doubled against Boston, and triple doubled last game. You're still getting a plus 2
And you and
300
Clyde
on
think
that.
Victor's
So,
better than him.
I mean, I'm pretty. What did he go in those games, Fred? 1 and 2.
Victor's in the last place.
He's by
He'll
himself.
never win.
We were talking about Dallas being title contenders.
Yeah, we were wrong.
It's like we knew the Spurs were going to suck. They got one guy.
They got
Give
like
Vic-
they
give
have like
Victor-
2.5. They have
Let's-
like 2.5. Trey Jones
let's
is good,
swap-
and Sohan's
let's
like
swap
half a good
spots.
player.
Swap spots. Put Victor on Dallas and put Luka on the Spurs. The Spurs don't change. Dallas, on the other hand,
No, Luka makes them a playing team.
well,
Just on his own.
who's he passing on the ball?
It doesn't matter.
They can't play defense either. Victor's the only reason they can play defense. If Victor goes to Dallas, you just slot Kyrie in at the point guard, and it's like, oh god, this
That
is
would
not
be crazy.
Yeah, you swap them, Dallas becomes a title contender. Spurs stay where they're at.
Fun NBA rundown today. Guys, we'll have punt school with us tomorrow, but boy, can you imagine how long this could have gone, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have got to some of these conversations.
Yeah, well, no, when he does come on, though, we are going to do some other stuff. It'll be better on the shorter slate tomorrow. I believe it's 8-game slate. But I want to talk to him about how the model, for me, right? Remember last year we just bet it even if it didn't make sense? It was like, trust the projections. This year, the projections have just been like a gentle suggestion, you know? I mean, it's crazy how less of an edge I have doing pretty much the same thing over the course of the year. And I wanted to know if he's having some of the similar issues with his projections. The Phoenix Suns are +9 in Denver, taking on the Nuggets. Total 224.5. This line's telling me Booker's out. I'll pull up the injury report right now.
Positive he's out.
Yeah, he's out. I mean, that's what the line told me. Here's some other concerns, though. Nasir Little and Josh Okogie, and normally, like, who would care about those players? But this Phoenix Suns team is starving for depth. Because now I got Eric Gordon coming off the bench. That's all right. Drew Eubanks. Saban Lee. No, he doesn't make any other rotation of any playoff team. Bol doesn't make any rotation of any playoff team. David Roddy. Thad Young. Feels like it's Denver or pass, but does Denver blow teams out, Tyler? What do you think here?
Jokic triple-double and win, +210. Easiest bet on the board. One, he hates
How many
Phoenix.
triple-doubles has he had in a row?
Jokic? Let me get his game log pulled up. Let's see. But back to what I was going to say. He hates Phoenix. They talked all that shit in the playoffs last year. He did absolutely nothing but dominate them the entire series. He's up against a former teammate in Nurkic who was starting over him at the beginning of his career. We know he dominates him every time he plays, and those go back to the Portland matchups. So he gets the double motivation. They're going to name their score because they're going to put Gordon on Durant. Durant's going to run out of gas. The other guys around them aren't going to be able to do much. And Jokic's triple-double, he doesn't have any in a row, but he did go on a stretch of, 4 in a row before his last two games. His last two games, he had 18, 11, and 7, and 35, 10, and 7. I think he gets back in the triple-double category tonight.
Tyler, if I were to make an argument for laying it with Denver, they've won 7 games in a row. The only game they did not win by double digits was against Miami, where Jamal Murray went out.
It wasn't only Jamal Murray that went out, right? I swore somebody else went out in that
KCP
game. KCP
didn't start, but we knew KCP was out to start the game. Maybe he went out, but Murray left during the game, and I remember being pissed because that was our bragging rights game. Do you remember that, Tyler?
And it fell on a push.
They were up by 20, but because I know it's the NBA, I did not send you a message yet, but I was getting ready, bragging time, right? I was getting my shoes out for the victory lap. Murray goes out, and then it landed right on the number because I bet it at -6, and you didn't want to join me, and we would have pushed, and nothing happened. Denver or pass? Do we bet it or no?
I'm betting the Jokic triple-double and win.
Help me, Tyler.
I don't know if I'm gonna lay that number, but if I had to bet the side, I'd lay it.
Let me see.
I just don't see how Phoenix does anything outside of Durant, and Durant's gonna run out of gas. We talk about this team running out of gas all the time. Now they're missing depth. Where do they pick up depth at all of a sudden? Where are they gonna score? This is the best team in the league they're playing, and they've ticked it up since the All-Star break. let's go back to those 4-factor stats that we talked about.
Yeah,
Denver
please.
is third in point differential. They're second in points per possession, second in effective field goal percentage. They do not turn the ball over much. They rank 12th there. They're the 11th highest offensive rebounding team. They are playing the second best defense, giving up only 105 points per game. They have the fourth best field goal percentage against, and they are only giving up the seventh most offensive rebounds. We go to Phoenix. Phoenix ranks 16th in point differential, 22nd in offense, 25th in shot percentage, and their defense ranks 17th. Denver beats them by double digits.
Okay, I'm gonna lay. Talk to me about props though, because I don't have the one that you have.
I mean, you got a Jokic triple-double, right?
Yeah, but talk to me about this one. What is your number on Jokic triple-double and wins?
Plus 180. It's easy. I don't care if, as long as it's plus money, it's a winner.
I got 9+ assists and win at plus 102.
I think that's a winner, and you're knocking off all the points on the spread.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
Can you bet his straight up triple double though? Like, what's the odds on that?
Let me see if I have that. I don't think they put triple doubles on Bet Online.
I swore they do, unless they take them off before.
Guys,
I don't use that book anymore, but I swore they were on there like a long time ago.
yeah, they used to, because I remember getting some of them, but they don't right now. Maybe specials. I mean, I only have Jokic recorded triple-double plus 124.
At what?
Plus 124.
I mean, I still think it's a winner.
Bro, what about this one? Yusuf and Nurkic to record a triple-double plus
I'd rather. I'd rather. Do I got a lighter right here? I don't know if I got a lighter right here. I'd rather just light the money on fire.
$1 to win 990.
I can get behind Michael Porter Jr.'s rebounds too. He's been playing very good.
I'm kind of talking myself into just landing with Denver here.
I can be, yeah.
Here's the deal, though. I'm at home. People don't know that. Just jumping in. I'm not working right now. I might just live bet it because I think this game will be close to begin with.
I found another rebounds prop we can bet at a nice plus 310.
What's that?
We had Denny yesterday at plus 425. What about MPJ at plus 310? He's had 10, 11, 5, 7, 12, and 11 in his recent games. Let's check his game log versus the Suns.
What do you want me to bet MPJ at? What are you getting?
I can get his alt rebounds at 10 plus at plus 310. And in his most recent Phoenix
I only
matchup,
get plus 290. Oh, wait, you said plus 310? That's about the same.
Plus 310. Yeah,
okay.
20 cents.
Plus 290, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, Jokic, 12 plus rebounds, minus 162.
Yeah.
All right.
You do that.
Let's just wait. I'm going to bet Denver live. Let's make it 2 official plays right now. Are you cool with that?
Something's happening with this game.
Why?
Because the line's now 8.5, and Jokic triple double and win just jumped to plus 220.
Was Murray on the injury report?
They don't have anybody on the injury report. The 2 guys on the injury report for them are KCP, who's off injury report, and Braxton Key, who's off injury report. And neither were injuries. It's both personal.
Yeah, I don't see anyone on there.
Let people keep betting on Phoenix, because I will gladly take a -8 on Denver. Or if they want to drive it down even further.
Mine didn't move, Tyler. Mine's still the same.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully people are betting Phoenix for a spread. Let's knock that number down.
All right, so we have 2 official plays today. We're going to take the Philadelphia 76ers and the Dallas Mavericks -4.5. We'll be back tomorrow. Remember, this channel is Nuke the House. Make sure you subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. We're getting more people in the chat. It's a lot of fun because remember, guys, the more you're in there, the less we see Clyde. Let's chat it up, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Share with your friends. Tyler, final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, definitely stay in the chat like Spread said. Maybe we'll get some of that Nuke the House gear that Kev just got. Maybe we'll do a little giveaway for guys in the chat. So
that'd be fun.
Definitely start chatting up more. So we'll talk to the big guy and see if we can get a hat or a T-shirt and give it away in here. So other than that, just make the best tonight, and we'll see what happens.
All
Cash the
right, we
ticket.
have two plays for you guys tonight. We are going with the 76ers and the Mavericks. Oh, I also did a fun money line parlay on the Magic, Celtics, and Pelicans. I don't like to give those out as official, but
All
hey,
right,
you
that's
want to have
fine.
some
But yeah,
fun? Yeah. All right, there you have it. We'll be back tomorrow with our guy Punt School, and I'm going to continue to try and find guests. Talk to you soon. Nuke the house.